right, hear me out, man. I want to get this video out the way. I know we can talk about free agent spotlights. You're gonna do all of that, but hear your man's out real quick. All right, I don't even know Kelly Olynyk at. I think he might be in Toronto. We need Kelly Olynyk back, right? I'm gonna talk about getting Nas Reed, and I talked about getting Nas Reed throughout the season. I know we had the little issue with Nas Reed, with the little, malice, and they was malice in the palace. No, nigga, we don't play at the palace no more. And we was in Minnesota, whatever they call the arena. I know back in the day it was called the Target Center. I don't know what they call it now. But Nas Reed, I like that pickup for the Pistons. It's a lot of things I think they can do. But sorry, I'm trying to put my shoe on before I go back in. But yeah, Kelly Olynyk is the guy. I think they're missing the Kelly Olynyk type of guy. I don't know the league like I used to know it. Kind of give you some more comparisons to guys like that. But I think a guy that is a difference. Is different between Duran and Stewart. Yeah, Stewart can stretch it out, but this season, he more of a run the lane, put back guy. Great defensive guy. I think they need the big fella that can kind of give them that 3 and that 4, that 4 and that 5 type of guy. You heard Jalen Rose said that he think that Lloyd Marketing is the guy, and I know the ticket is probably gonna be expensive on him. But a guy like Kelly Olynyk is a good change of pace guy. Bring him back. A guy that can dribble a little bit. You can pick and pop, pick and roll. He can make the extra pass. He can post up. You can put him in the corner. He can catch and shoot. He gives you some time as a stretch 4. He can post up. I think a guy like Kelly Olynyk, it's perfect. You got to remember the Pistons had, both Piston teams had guys similar. Bill Laimbeer could stretch it out, shoot it. Memo Core could stretch it out, shoot it. Pistons had, Darko, Rasheed Wallace in my 840 voice. When Rasheed got dissed by 840. Ben Wallace, but then, Elton Campbell, but then you had the change-up guy in Memo Core. So, yeah, that's what the Pistons really missing. They don't really have to need, during to shoot more three or learn to shoot threes. You don't have to have Beef Stew go out there and set the 3-point line. If you could do it, a guy like Olynyk, that'd be a perfect case. And you could play them three together. Not together, but in the combination. Olynyk you could play Olynyk and Dorn. And Olynyk ain't too shabby on the boards. You can play Olynyk or Dorn. You can play Olynyk and Stewart. He gives you that versatility, and I think that's the guy I would go out there and target. You be like, well, would you still go out there and get Nas Reed? Absolutely. I still go out there and get Nas Reed. And if I felt like I lost a guy like Beasley, or if I lost a guy like Dennis Schroeder, I would go out there and try to get Bruce Brown. I want to play both in Toronto. I could be wrong. I'll try to get Bruce Brown back. And funny thing about it, Bruce Brown got traded because he didn't go to voluntary workouts with COVID. So Troy Weaver got rid of him. My thing is this. If some shit voluntary and I choose not to show up to it, how you gonna get rid of me for that? And that's what I kind of be saying, man. Like, one thing you learn about business, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, a lot of y'all aspiring to be business owners, don't make the shit personal. If you get an option to somebody to do something or not do it, and they choose not to do it, it's not personal. I gave you the option. If I'm telling you to do it, you have to do it, and you don't do it, then guess what? Then we can part ways. Don't say, oh, it's voluntary, even if the league said, but you don't show. No, I feel that's bullshit. Don't let your pleasure and your business intertwine. Trust and believe me, if you got a family member or your wife, your secretary, or daughter doing your statements as secretary, you gotta put foot on neck, regardless of who it is. I love you when we walk out of here. We soulmates, or you my daughter, you my son. We in this motherfucker. We in this business right here. Ain't no cutting out or nothing like that. What's so funny about it? I remember I had a night class at Mumford and shit, right? Because this whole ass teacher named Miss Lowe failed me in English, which was it's not my best subject. And basically, these chicks didn't like me because I used to roast a fat ass friend. I used to roast this bitch, right? Real spill. And so basically I would turn my work in and they would collude with the teacher. I'm gonna just tell you how much niggas suffer in science, how much men suffer in science. They colluded with the teacher and they would take my work out the pile and they would say I didn't turn it in. So when, and I'm like, damn, I did all the work, you know what I'm saying? And they would say, well, you got an F, because they would take my work and they would like probably destroy it or throw it away. And what's so funny is, we go through harassment from females like that as men, we don't say anything. because people don't care. A, they don't care. B, you know what I'm saying, you be like, you file a sexual complaint. Once again, they don't care. Or C, they flip it on you. Well, he did this to me first. He touched me, and they gonna believe her. Even if you file the claim first, it's really like we suffering a lot of silence, man. Even at the end, I ain't even say no. My mom was like, "Why you feel it? You usually get all A's. Why you feel?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Bitch had it out for me, and teachers do have it out for me. I came across a whole bunch of teachers that had it out for me, and it was what it was. But yeah, you know, I felt that shit. And I had the night class, and one of the girls that I sat next to, or whatever, and we got close, and she like, I'm like, you think you gonna pass? Cause we started off shaky, cause we used to talk shit. We used to be bad. Young, beautiful black teacher, our teacher. So I ended up moving my seat away from her and getting the high ass grade in the class. And the teacher was like, "Oh, you smart?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What you get?" "ISO girl, what you get?" She was like, "I'm not gonna fail. The teacher is I think her teacher was her mother's friend. She ain't gonna fail me, so she ain't care." So nepotism is real, bro. Like, I get it. That's why I don't get mad at for people to do nepotism. You're supposed to put your people on, but don't let the business mess you up. Because if it's found out that you passing students or you doing something you ain't supposed to do, you're gonna lose your career over what? Because somebody didn't want to do their job and handle business. That's just, I get it. But I just said that to say that about Troy. He traded away a good player, right? Over some personal shit. But Kelly Olynyk is the move, bro. Or somebody like Kelly Olynyk. That's the move. That's what they missing. Somebody with a little athleticism, a little change of pace. You know, I mean, I think at this point, Brook Lopez would be too old. I think Milwaukee gonna blow it up. You know, say everybody like CJ, what about trading for Bobby Portis? That'll be another interesting one. But I think Olynyk, I like Bobby Portis. I think that's an excellent move. If I can't get Nas Reed, I'll get Bobby Portis. I say that. I understand he had to pay a situation. If I can't get Nas Reed, I think Bobby Portis is the perfect vet to bring in there. Him or not. I think I like Nas a little bit more. But I think Kelly Olynyk kind of give you some more size at the 5. You know, and he can give you some 4. But let me know what y'all think, man. I've been sitting on this thought. I've been talking to people for a couple weeks about this. So I was waiting for the season to end, and when the season ended, I was going to talk. I think Kelly Olynyk is bringing Kelly to move. Olynyk is the move. Now, if y'all got some other guys, you know, that kind of that's in that mold, let me know. I don't know the league like I used to know it, man. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit the link in the description. Check out other channels: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, CJ Good 313. Appreciate everybody for donating. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.